leaving Bali. And usually when you leave Bali, you're a little bit sad, a little bit upset that you might not be coming back for a while, but in my case, that's not really how I feel. I feel quite excited because I'm leaving Bali and heading to Java. And Java's a place I feel really comfortable with. And I also love exploring the place because I think for most people, it's just one of those places that offers so much and is a little bit misunderstood and maybe a little bit underexplored. It's a huge island with lots of possibilities. So for the next undetermined period of time, we're heading to Java, the easternmost tip of Java, specifically around the town of Banyuwangi and some of the areas around there, to explore what's going on, climb a few mountains, go to some beaches, explore some islands, maybe see some old Hindu temples. That's what I'm hoping to do over the course of the next series of videos. So join me and Susan on the back here as we explore Eastern Java. Woo! One of the things that deters some people from visiting a place like Java is that accessibility can be a little bit confusing and sometimes even a little bit difficult. But I guess if you know what you're doing, it actually makes things a lot easier. And one of the main things about getting to Java is you either need to get an aeroplane there or you need to catch a ferry. There's only really two options there. Today, what I wanted to show you is that Java is so close to Bali that the ferry journey is actually not a big deal at all. And all you really need to do is to get to that ferry terminal in Gili Manuk, and then the ferry journey across to Java is really short, really simple and really easy. First off, it's a little brekkie place I know in the town of Medewi, and I really love it over there. Now, Medewi is a town that surfers have known for decades, but it's not that popular with most visitors to Bali. But I just think the area itself is quite spectacular. The beach is spectacular. It's quite rural and it has a bit of an old Bali feel to it. Over the past few years, there's been a bit of modernity coming into town, but nothing too over the top. But it's to the point where you can get a really good coffee there these days. You've always been able to get a decent coffee, but now it's really top level. They've got nice breakfast. You can get local food, you can get Western food. It's all there. I really love it over in Medewi. It's actually a place that I've stayed a few times before, and I probably need to explore a little bit more in the future. But this morning, we're stopping for brekkie. So this is called Bomboloni's Bali. It's just in a sort of a newer area of Medewi, and they do all these little donut things here, which they've got heaps of different types. They look pretty cool. And then they've got some cakes, and they've got tiramisu, they've got all sorts of stuff. And then they've got normal breakfast as well, so we'll have to look at the menu, see what we get. It's actually Ramadan right now around the world, and that means if you're going to a place that's got a majority Muslim population, the food situation is going to be a bit different. Now, I don't know what it's going to be like in Banyuwangi, but I'm assuming that getting food at a normal warung is going to be somewhat limited, and where it is available, you'll be eating behind a curtain or something. I'm not too worried about that. I've travelled extensively through Ramadan before and it hasn't really caused too many problems, but it's just something to keep in mind that if you find something to eat that you really like, take your opportunity while it's there and eat, because the next place that you go to may not have something that you're really happy with. The other thing around Ramadan time is that people go home to their home village, and because in Bali there are a lot of people from Java working here, they will go home for Ramadan, which is still a little while away. But what I've noticed on the road so far is that there are people starting to what they call pulang kampung or mudik right now. So the road's getting a little bit busier going that direction. Riding a motorbike up here to Gili Manuk is okay, but it's better if you drive or have a car and a driver, or even just catch a bus. So we've got a bit of a selection here. We've got some, they do focaccias here. We've got a couple of those as well. So I'm going to try my cappuccino. Yeah, it's quite good. I like this place, just a little garden sort of situation here, off the main road in the area of Medewi. I might just pop down to the beach after I finish up here and just have a quick look. Okay, a couple of little focaccias, let's try them out. I've got one which is mushroom melt, another one which is a chicken schnitzel one. You know they're going to be okay, like you can't really go wrong with something like that, a bit of cheese and mushroom. So good. So the beach down here in Medewi is an absolute beauty, a beautiful black sand beach. Look at that one, absolutely beautiful. There are a lot of surfers out there at the moment, and I'm assuming it's because the waves look quite large out there. The weather's not bad at the moment. I think it just rained in this area this morning. We haven't been rained on during the journey, but the roads are wet around here. Yeah, so you can see that over there, like the waves look pretty good. There's heaps of surfers just there. I can probably count 20 of them. That's mainly where they are. But all down the coast, it's just beautiful. And for as far as the eye can see, I mean, I can see a good few kilometres in that direction, and it's just beach all the way. Actually, once you go too far down there, you get to an area where it's like a little river that you can cross if you take your shoes off or go across in thongs. It's probably about knee or thigh deep or whatever. Yeah, but this whole sort of coastline in the west of Bali is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at it. I love it out here. Definitely a place that's worth visiting at least sometime, I think. There is a bit of facility out here as well, like accommodation is quite a good standard, and cafes and restaurants and stuff are a good standard as well, but it's not really that touristy. It has a great feel at the moment. That's one of those few places that you go to where you've got the nice balance right at this point in time. But I don't think it's always going to be like that. But it's been like that for quite a while now. While I was out west here, I thought I'd just go and check out a couple of beaches down here. This is west of Medewi, but before Gili Manuk. And like down a really remote road. I just wanted to see what sort of beaches they have here that really don't have anyone coming down to them. So let's have a bit of a look. I mean, it's almost a little bit muddy, that sand. It's not beautiful. Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, okay. Now I can see land over there, but I'm not sure what that is. Is that Java? It could be that Java. Does Java go all the way around there? Wow, it's big. Wow, that's so big. Massive, massive wave. Yeah. Gili Manuk's only about, I don't know, 20 k's from here, not that far. You can almost, like, you can see, definitely see Java. You can almost see Gili Manuk at the end there. Yeah, the ocean's not great over here. It looks a bit muddy, but if I look a little bit further out, maybe about 50 meters, it does get that turquoise color, almost like there's some white sand out there. But just here, no good. Obviously, that's why no tourists come down here. That's why there's no sort of infrastructure, no one sort of even playing on the beach. It's just not that pleasant. Oh well, Pantai Melaya, this one is. That's what they call it. Not really worth coming down, but now you know, you don't need to come here because I've already been here and told you that it's not really that nice. But having said that, like there's heaps of vacant land up here. Like it'd be dirt cheap, like just not used for anything really. Imagine just having a little plot of land up here and having a little shack, or I don't know, something, I don't know, it's just something pretty simple. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Little holiday house up there somewhere. Get up in the morning, have a bit of a look around, a bit of a walk along the beach, be all right. Okay, we're on board. Hello, nanti ya? Yeah. So basically the story is that these boats or these ships go every 15 minutes here from Gili Manuk. So you just roll up and get on one. You have to pre-buy a ticket, but they've got all these like little ticket booths before you get into the port anyway, so it's pretty easy. Whether you go on foot or in a car or a bike, it's pretty easy. Let's have a bit of a look around, eh? It's a good day for it though, look at that. Beautiful. Hello. Dari mana?
Dari Banyuwangi.
Banyuwangi, pulang kampung?
Pulang kampung.
Ini mudik nggak? Mudik. Oh. Oke, nanti ya ngobrol lagi ya.
Yes.
A bit of a look around here. This is all the old wooden seats. Look at those ones. They're old school. At least you've got somewhere to sit. Sometimes on these boats you don't even get a place to sit. You just have to sit on the sides, which is not a big deal. Oh, that's beautiful over there. Over that side, that's the West Bali National Park over that side. All over there. Beautiful. The crossing across to Java is only about 3 kilometres. It's not very far at all. It's not like the one across to Lombok, which is 4 or 5 hours and maybe almost 100 kilometres. You can see Java from here. The east coast of Java, or the easternmost part of Java, which is where I'm headed to for this sort of big journey that I'm going on at the moment, this big series, is actually filled with volcanoes. So behind those clouds there are these big peaks, yeah? I'll be going up one of those during this trip if the weather stays pretty good, like it is at the moment. But it's a different world out here. I love it. It just feels really good. It feels pretty adventurous, to be honest. Gonna have a bit of a look upstairs, see if I can see anything interesting. Oh, it's hot up here. It's hot. Wow, hot and bright. Usually come up here and have a look around the captain's office and that sort of stuff. See what's happening over here. It's not really much here. There's a few little tables and chairs, but you won't get me up there for sure. It's so hot. There you go. The captain's in there, and that's about it really. Yeah. This whole port area is pretty rough and ready, you know. It's typical port area type stuff. Hello. Yeah. So I parked down over there. So all the bikes are on the side and you get the big trucks in the middle. So as long as your bike's sort of parked within those yellow lines, you're generally okay. But you've got staff sort of directing you where to park anyway. If you brought a car across, if you hired a car and brought it across, like you have staff over there directing you, you know, where to park your car and everything. It's just like any ferry in the world that sort of is allowed to have cars on board. It's all pretty simple. Like we sometimes think that in Java it's all a bit too complicated and a bit too hard because we're unsure of what to expect. But actually the reality is when you get out and about, it's pretty normal like most places in the world. It's not really a big deal, and the language barrier is not really a barrier at all. Like people will give you hand signals, some people have got a few broken words of English, so yeah, it's pretty easy. They have a little canteen on board as well, cold drinks. I wonder if they've got any beer in there. Usually you wouldn't, no. And also being Ramadan, if you're like going to have a beer outside the mushola in Ramadan, it's probably not a good look, is it? This is the inside area. A bit cooler in here. There's actually not many people on board, to be honest. Like, it's pretty quiet. I mean, this is probably where I'll end up camping out. I think Susan's in here. Oh, there she is. Yeah, not bad. I might get a drink and then yeah, sit back and enjoy the ride, really. As is always the case, I've lost my sunglasses. I think I've left them on my motorbike. The number of sunglasses I go through, like you probably don't even know on the videos, like I cycle through sunglasses. I just leave them everywhere. I used to buy like really expensive ones, but I don't do that anymore. Like the most I'll pay is about 50, 60 bucks rather than a few $100s. Here we go, sitting there. Knew they'd be there. Might actually go and see if I can get a cold drink off someone. They may not have cold drinks. Let's have a look. These women over here have drinks. Bu, ada minuman dingin nggak? Nggak ada. Ada apa? Di atas ya? Oh, nggak. Oh, ada kopi apa? Kopi susu ada? Ada. Ya, kopi susu satu berapa, Bu? Oke, 5.000 saja. Wow. Masih asli harganya. Aduh.
Di atas minuman. Kalau di Indonesia nih,
ya. Enggak usah kasih kembalian, Bu.
Oke,
ya.
Terima kasih ya.
Ya. Terima kasih buat Ibu jujur.
Di atas minuman.
Ya, terima kasih, Bu.
Oke.
Semoga sukses ya. Ibu Muslim? Bali?
Iya.
Ah, Ibu?
Sama.
Hindu juga. Ah, di sini banyak Muslim dan Hindu juga. Ya. Campur. Terima kasih ya, Bu. That's classic. This is the real living Indonesia. This is how Indonesia really is. It's this unity in diversity. It is a country with so many different religions and suku. I think that means like ethnic groups. And the diversity is what makes this country really strong. And it's not just like a slogan, because it is a slogan, like it's actually the national slogan, but it's also reality. You know, you come to a place like this and, you know, everyone's sort of respecting each other in their own ways. Okay, got these guys. Got these guys. He's saying he wants a photo. I don't know if he wants me to photograph them or he wants to photograph with me. My photo.
Yes, photo.
Okay, udah di fotoin. Oh, foto sama aku ya. Ah, ya. Oh ya. Selfie dulu ya.
Ya.
Pakai kamera siapa?
Kamera itu.
Oh, udah ada.
Mana yuk?
Sini.
Foto.
Sini. Ya.
Tering kamera ada.
I just asked these guys if they're rindu, and they said rindu sekali.
Rindu Banyuwangi.
Rindu Banyuwangi, there you go. So they only go home once a year, and this is their once a year that they're going home now for Lebaran.
Naam.
Ya, senang ya kalau pulang ya. Ketemu harus bawa oleh-oleh banyak atau tidak?
Oleh-olehnya di jok.
Oh ya, di bawah jok ada banyak oleh-oleh. Biasanya khas Bali atau gimana?
Baju kotor.
His souvenir is dirty laundry. They're all jokers here. Ya, makasih ya. Sampai nanti ya. We haven't even been waiting very long, and this thing's already moving. Like, I reckon we've been on board for less than 15 minutes and that thing's already moving, so that's pretty quick, I reckon. I don't know if they're going to shut that door or not. That could be quite dangerous if you get underway without shutting the door, but I don't know, it's submerged now, that door. That's weird, isn't it? No one seems to be concerned. Oh yeah, I can see the winch is going now. They're starting to winch it. I mean, I would have thought that you'd winch before you got underway, but I don't know. They do sink, but not that often, like, I don't know, a few times a year. So we're just about at the other side now. It's called Ketapang, the other side of the water from Bali, Ketapang, close to the town of Banyuwangi. It's taken about 40 minutes. It hasn't taken that long at all. Really pretty easy and simple, very comfortable. Hardly any people on the boat, which is a little bit surprising. And it only costs 40,000. Now, you can get it cheaper if you do it yourself and you book online, but because I went through an agent down near the ferry port, you pay a little bit more. But 40,000 for a motorbike and 2 people is cheap anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'd prefer to do it that way, to be honest. Just go straight to an agent. The app is actually it's called, I think it's called Ferry, but it's actually not that easy to use anyway. And I think from memory, you have to have a local bank account, which for me is not a big deal, but for most people, it's going to be a problem. All right, so this is the story. It's like MotoGP trying to get off these boats. Everyone wants to get to the front. Here we go. The first person to get off it is usually a little bit dangerous because it's not necessarily fully docked. But anyway, we're going for it now. There we go. Dude's putting the ropes down. It's like a little ramp for us. Oh yeah. Wow, that is scary. We're moving. If you go when it's moving, you're in deep trouble, I reckon. Whoa, we're off. We are off. Okay, how do we get out? All right, we'll follow these dudes. No idea where we're going here, but we'll figure it out. Dodge the trucks through here. It's always chaotic at these ports. It's pretty normal, just take your time, you'll be fine normally. I don't know if you're getting out of that on foot where you go. I guess you have to walk up here as well, or maybe there's a little pedestrian gate, I don't know. So Banyuwangi itself is only 10 kilometres from here. So for most people who come across on foot, they'll either catch a taxi from here or get public transport. There's little public transport that'll take you down to Banyuwangi from here as well, like little angkots, angkutan kota. So I've rolled up at a place called Ijen Good Feeling Homestay or Guest House or something like that. 88,000 for a room here. If you want the air conditioning put on, you have to add, I think it costs 140,000 total So add an extra 52,000 to get an air conditioning on, which I want because it's really hot today. I'll show you the room. Like, it's very simple. Yeah, very simple, double bed like that. You can get a twin as well. AC's there, but it's sort of like open to the world. But anyway, I've got an AC, so I'll be firing that up soon. Might have a bit of a nap. It's not even midday yet because it's 1 hour difference here in Java compared to Bali. So the time went back 1 hour. So in Bali, it's sort of 1:45 at the moment. Here it's 12:45. Little bathroom there. It's got a Western toilet. Well, that's positive. And then a shower, which is a cold water shower, which in this sort of weather is pretty refreshing anyway. This is sort of in a kampung area in Banyuwangi, and as the call to prayer rings out across the kampung, it feels good to be back in Java. Thanks for coming along for the ride with me today, and I hope you can join me on the rest of this Java series. I think it's going to be a pretty good adventure getting to all those places that I described earlier in the video, and perhaps finding a few other places that we hadn't expected as well. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Sonora and the rest of Indonesia. I'll catch you next time, and sampai jumpa.